Let's look at this. 1/2 becomes 0.5, nice and clean. 1/4 becomes 0.25, also clean. But then suddenly, 1/3 becomes 0.33333, forever? Why does this happen? Why do some fractions become simple decimals, and others never seem to end? In this video, we're going to understand exactly how to convert fractions into decimals, and more importantly, why the answers behave differently. Let's start with this simple question. What does fraction to decimal mean? Well, we already know that fractions and decimals are just different ways to represent the same value. For example, 1/2 is equal to 0.5. 3/4 is equal to 0.75. And 4/5 is equal to 0.8. Now, the question is, how do we convert a fraction into decimal? Well, the answer is quite simple. It's division, which is the core method behind it, and it's because a fraction is actually a division. So, to convert a fraction into a decimal, just divide the numerator into the denominator. That means 1/2 is actually 1 divided by 2. 3/4 is 3 divided by 4. And 4/5 is 4 divided by 5. And eventually, 1 divided by 2 is equal to 0.5. 3 divided by 4 is equal to 0.75. And 4 divided by 5 is equal to 0.8. So far, everything looks clean and simple, right? But now, here is an interesting case. 1/3, which is equal to 0.33333, it never ends. This is called a recurring decimal. We will study this in detail in the next video, but for now, the question is, why do some decimals end and others don't? Let's take a look at recurring and non-recurring decimals. This is where most students get confused. Let's compare them first. 1/2 is precisely equal to 0.5. And 3/4 is equal to 0.75. But 1/3 is equal to 0.33333, and it never ends. Same like 2/3, which is equal to 0.66666, and it never ends either. So, what's the difference? Let's understand this. If the denominator is made of 2's and 5's, or combination of them, the decimal will usually end. For example, 1/2, 1/4, 1/5, 1/10. But, if the denominator has other numbers, like 3, 6, 7, or 9, then the decimal will usually repeat forever. For example, 1/3, 1/6, 1/7, 1/9. Don't worry, you don't need to memorize everything. Just remember, every fraction can be turned into a decimal. But not every decimal will be neat and clean. Some decimals end, and some go on forever. Now, let's talk about a very common mistake. Many students try to do this. 1/4 is equal to 0.14. This is wrong. Why? Because you cannot just combine the numbers randomly. You must always divide numerator by denominator. Now here is a mini challenge for you. Convert these fractions into decimals. 1/8, 2/5, 1/3. Pause the video and solve. Now check your answers. 1/8 is equal to 0.125. 2/5 is equal to 0.4. 1/3 is equal to 0.3333. So today we learned. Fractions can be converted into decimals. A fraction is just division. Some decimals end, and some repeat forever. Now that you understand how fractions become decimals, the next question is, why do some decimals never stop? Watch the next video to understand recurring decimals in detail, and why they happen. If this lesson helped you, subscribe to Core Concept Academy, where math and science become clear, simple, and logical. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lesson.